The year 1402, a date forever etched in Ottoman memory. It was the year their invincible Sultan Bayezid I tasted defeat. The mighty Timur, the sword of Islam, had arrived from the east. He brought with him a vast army, hungry for conquest. At the Battle of Ankara, the Ottoman world was turned upside down. Timur's forces crushed Bayezid's army. The Sultan himself was captured, a humiliating end for the once mighty ruler. The Ottoman Empire, so recently a beacon of strength, was now in chaos. Bayezid's sons, each eager for power, fought amongst themselves. This period, known as the Ottoman Interregnum, lasted for nearly a decade. It was a time of uncertainty and fear. The empire, stitched together through decades of conquest, seemed destined to unravel. The news of the defeat spread like wildfire. From the Balkans to Anatolia, whispers of the Ottoman collapse traveled on the wind. Enemies, sensing weakness, prepared to reclaim lost lands. The future of the Ottomans, once bright with promise, now seemed shrouded in darkness. The Ottoman Empire, once ruled with an iron fist by Bayezid, was now a fractured land. Bayezid's sons, each vying for the throne, plunged the empire into a bitter civil war. This period, known as the Ottoman Interregnum, was a time of betrayal, bloodshed, and constant struggle for dominance. Among the sons, 4 emerged as major contenders: Suleiman, Isa, Musa, and Mehmed. Each controlled a portion of the former empire, their ambitions fueled by a lust for power and the legacy of their father. Suleiman, the eldest, established himself in Rumelia, the European territories of the empire. Isa claimed Bursa, the first Ottoman capital, as his own. Musa seized control of the Gallipoli Peninsula, a strategic gateway between Europe and Asia. Mehmed, the youngest of the brothers, found himself in control of Amasya in the heart of Anatolia. Despite his youth, Mehmed possessed a sharp mind and a talent for strategy. He understood that to reunite the empire, he would need to be cunning and ruthless. He would need to overcome his brothers and prove himself as the rightful heir to the Ottoman throne. Mehmed, unlike his brothers, understood that the Ottoman Empire's strength lay in its unity. He saw the interregnum not as an opportunity for personal gain, but as a threat to the legacy of his ancestors. With patience and calculated moves, he began his campaign to reunite the shattered empire. He first secured his eastern borders, forming alliances with powerful Anatolian beyliks. These alliances proved invaluable, providing him with much-needed troops and resources. With his eastern flank secure, Mehmed turned his attention westward towards his brothers. His first major victory came against Isa in 1403. Mehmed's forces defeated Isa's army, forcing him to flee. He then set his sights on Suleiman, who ruled Rumelia with an iron grip. Through strategic alliances and skillful diplomacy, Mehmed weakened Suleiman's hold on the region, eventually forcing him to retreat. Suleiman, abandoned by his allies and facing defeat, met a tragic end, assassinated by his own men. With 2 of his brothers vanquished, Mehmed now faced his most formidable opponent, Musa. Musa, having consolidated his power in Rumelia, presented a significant challenge to Mehmed's ambition. He was a charismatic leader, popular amongst his troops, and feared for his ruthlessness. However, Mehmed knew that Musa's ambition would be his downfall. He used Musa's invasion of Anatolia to his advantage. As Musa marched east, Mehmed rallied support in Rumelia, exploiting the resentment many felt towards Musa's harsh rule. He promised stability, justice, and an end to the bloodshed that had plagued the empire for too long. The 2 brothers finally met at the Battle of Kamurlu in 1413. The battle was fierce, a bloody clash that decided the fate of the Ottoman Empire. In the end, Mehmed emerged victorious. Musa, abandoned by his allies and facing certain defeat, met his demise on the battlefield. With his brothers defeated and the last vestiges of the interregnum swept away, Mehmed I ascended to the Ottoman throne. He was now the sole sultan, the reunifier, the one who had salvaged the empire from the brink of collapse. Section 5. Restoring order, justice, and prosperity. Mehmed I, now the undisputed ruler of the Ottoman Empire, faced the daunting task of rebuilding what the interregnum had destroyed. He understood that his victory was only the first step in a long and arduous journey. To secure his reign and ensure the empire's survival, he needed to heal old wounds, restore order, and bring prosperity to his people. One of his first acts was to implement a policy of reconciliation. He offered amnesty to those who had fought against him, understanding that punishing his enemies would only prolong the cycle of violence. He appointed capable administrators regardless of their past allegiances, placing merit and loyalty above all else. Mehmed also understood the importance of a fair and just legal system. He reformed the courts, ensuring that justice was served impartially. He knew that a strong legal framework was essential for attracting merchants, encouraging trade, and restoring the empire's economic vitality. The Ottoman Interregnum had taken a heavy toll on the empire's infrastructure and economy. Cities lay in ruins, trade routes were disrupted, and the once thriving markets were shadows of their former selves. Mehmed knew that rebuilding these vital arteries of the empire was crucial for securing his reign and ensuring the prosperity of his people. He invested heavily in the reconstruction of cities, particularly those devastated by the fighting. Bursa, Edirne, and other key urban centers saw a resurgence under his rule. He ordered the construction of mosques, caravanserais, and public baths, breathing life back into the heart of the Ottoman lands. Mehmed also understood the importance of trade. He worked tirelessly to restore the safety of trade routes, both within his own domains and beyond. He signed treaties with neighboring powers, ensuring the free flow of goods and services. He encouraged the development of crafts and industries, knowing that a diversified economy would make the empire more resilient. Mehmed I, unlike his predecessors, understood the power of narrative. He recognized that a shared history, a chronicle of their triumphs and struggles, could unify his people and legitimize his rule. It was during his reign that the seeds of Ottoman historical writing were sown, marking a new era in the empire's cultural development. He commissioned scholars and chroniclers to document the history of the Ottomans, from their humble beginnings to his own rise to power. These early chronicles, though often incomplete and prone to embellishment, provided a foundation upon which later Ottoman historians would build. These chronicles served a dual purpose. They instilled a sense of pride in the Ottoman people, reminding them of their shared heritage and their resilience in the face of adversity. They also served as a tool of propaganda, legitimizing Mehmed's rule and glorifying his achievements in reuniting the empire. Mehmed's reign, though relatively short, was a period of remarkable recovery and consolidation for the Ottoman Empire. He had inherited a realm shattered by civil war and left behind a unified and revitalized state, poised for expansion. His legacy lay not in grand conquests or military triumphs, but in the less glamorous yet essential work of rebuilding and laying the foundation for future glory. He instilled a sense of unity and purpose in his people, reminding them of their shared destiny. He restored order and justice, creating an environment conducive to economic growth and prosperity. He patronized the arts and sciences, fostering a burgeoning culture that would blossom under his successors. Most importantly, Mehmed I passed on to his heir, Murad II, a stable and prosperous empire. He had extinguished the flames of civil war, secured the borders, and set in motion the mechanisms for continued growth and expansion. His reign, often overshadowed by the conquests of his predecessors and successors, remains a testament to the power of unity, resilience, and wise leadership. In 1421, after a reign of 8 short but impactful years, Mehmed I passed away. His death, though a moment of mourning, did not plunge the empire back into chaos. This was a testament to the strength of the foundations he had laid. His son, Murad II, ascended to the throne, inheriting a realm united and strong. Murad II would go on to become one of the most successful Ottoman sultans, expanding the empire's frontiers and solidifying its position as a major power in the region. He would face challenges, of course, both internal and external, but he would always remember the lessons of his father. The Ottoman Interregnum, a period of darkness and uncertainty, had ultimately served to strengthen the empire. It had tested its resilience, exposed its vulnerabilities, and produced in Mehmed I a leader capable of binding his people together and setting them on a path towards greatness. The Ottoman Empire, forged in the fires of adversity, was now poised to embark on a journey of conquest and expansion that would span centuries and reshape the map of the world.